Okay, so most of you guys always request for us to actually show our faces and talk during our videos on YouTube when we do construction or general updates. Well, what we're going to do is start videotaping and vlogging, if you will, Horror Nights construction as we get closer to opening night on September 16th. So we're going to kind of call this a Vlogstruction. A lot of stuff hasn't been added, but some things haven't added to New York, so it's going to be a small update, but an update nonetheless, and as the day gets closer, hopefully we'll add more. So let's start looking around. Okay, so now we're in the New York section of Universal, which is going to be the home of Survive or Die based on the theming. They haven't officially said it, but I mean, it doesn't take a genius to see that it's going to be that. So right now we're looking at a scaffolding that actually has projections and some theming. The projections have been used before. Halloween Horror Nights 21, you would have seen acid assault, and the projections would show up there, and it looked like the building would be crumbling. This year it looks like there's going to be several effects, as there's 2 projections, and further down as we get closer I'll show you. There's more projections that way, so it looks like several of the buildings will be given some sort of effect. Okay, so right now we are going through a tunnel that is set up inside, I think Battery Park, don't kill me if I got it wrong, but inside New York. And this is kind of new that they're actually extending the scare zone into this area because it's usually considered a safe zone. You can see there's another tunnel coming up here that exits back out. So we'll see how it's used. Are there scare actors hiding here or not? I don't know how it's going to work out with crowd flow, especially at night and all the fog. Could imagine a few accidents happening, but it is a cool addition nonetheless. Okay, so looking down the streets of New York, you can see now across the rooftops they have camo netting. I guess to make it look more apocalyptic. It does give a bit of nuanced theming, but it does kind of look cool, especially at night with all the lights going up, which you can see they have set up all across the rooftops as well. Alright, so we're walking down New York some more, and you can see more camo netting that's tore up here. But interestingly, they have another scaffolding. No projections here yet, maybe, probably won't be, but you can see now they have this theming sort of device here, and based on the scare zone story, it's an apocalyptic scare zone that where groups are fighting for fresh air. So I'm assuming that has to tie in with air. Alright, so this is a bit of interesting theming. The statue of Lou Wasserman that's in between San Francisco and New York is now wrapped up in vines. Nice little addition. There you have it. Alright, so we're coming up on another scaffolding in New York. Don't know what's going to be here. Maybe more projections, maybe theming, maybe someone will stand here. Okay, so since there's not a lot of theming, I figured to take the time out to show you the Central Park area across the lagoon. As you can see, there's a traditional Florida storm on the way. But you can see the stage that was used last year is set up again. Last year it was used for Jack. This year it's probably going to be used for the Academy of Villains dance number. But in Central Park is going to be where the Lair of the Banshee scare zone is. Now in years past, there's been pumpkins adorning all the trees. I don't know if they'll do that again this year. Wouldn't be surprised if they do though. But we should see some movement going relatively soon. I mean, we're less than 28 days now, so soon. Alright, so interesting to note, excuse me, interesting to note that the fisherman juggling act that used to be in front of the San Francisco Wharf, right in front of the disaster now, future Home of Furious, Supercharged, is now moved across from the construction drum guys. Probably moved it so they can start working even more on the scare zone construction. Alright, so we're walking down San Francisco, which will be the home of Dead Man's Wharf. Not much has been added, other than lights, which will be a theme occurring in this short video. But there is a scaffolding set up. I'm under the impression that we might get projections here too, based on what we've seen in New York. So maybe we'll see some underwater effects projected on the brickwork, amongst other things. So we'll see as it draws near. Alright, so I figured I'd show you this area because this is where Vamp's 1955 is going to be. And it's a perfect setting because Hollywood, 1950s look, right next to Mel's Drive-In, based on the 50s. So not much has been added to the scare zone yet, but you'll see lighting adorning all the rooftops, getting ready for more stuff to come later on in the month. And just a quick mention as we're about to exit, this is the Plaza of the Stars, in between Despicable Me and Shrek. And this will probably be home of A Chance in Hell, which is the icon Chance's Scare Zone. Not much added to this again, other than some lighting equipment. Alright, so we're leaving Universal. As you can see, Blue Man Group behind me. Lots still to do, but coming along slowly but surely. This won't be a daily Vlogstruction. I know, corny name, but it works. We'll try to update as often as we can, but we don't have the time to. For better daily vlogs, make sure to check out the Tim Tracker and View for the Cheap Seats, aka Kyle Guy. We'll put the information, all that here. But in addition, if you like what we did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell us we suck, tell us we're awesome, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just comment. Constructive feedback. So that's it for today. We'll try to be here next week to see what else they've added. Until then, take care.